Omid and Kojo Show.
What are you saying?
Well, you said, I've still got that picture behind me. Should I just leave it there the whole time? What else is on here? Oh, you can play whole clips?
Sick.
Damn, we should use this more.
I did not know you could do that.
Yeah, that's sick. Here's me after my run.
Yeah, that picture killed me, you know.
Go through the camera roll, see what's going on. There's some grass at the park. Wow, amazing.
Yeah, you did.
Here's a picture that me and Omid said we were going to do together.
What's all this? Can I put a filter on?
Go on. Is it just going to be us? Oh, yeah. Omid, this is Nate. Oh, my God. You should be like that the whole time. You should always be like that. That's amazing.
I have to be at a really weird angle for it to work.
Yeah, this is the gym that I was talking about. Nathan's new one. It's in a squash court.
That's not the that looks fine.
You could train in it.
Yeah,
it's funny though.
If the floor's any good, that'd be a pretty good spot for like power swings and stuff.
Yeah, it'd be like that tiny gym in Russia.
Yeah, well, bigger than that.
Maybe. I don't know. Squash courts are pretty small. Oh
yeah, I know, but like in lengthwise.
There's me as an old man. So enjoy that, guys. You look ridiculous. Are you just gonna leave it like that?
Whoa!
The whole time?
I can go invisible and come back.
Shrimp
Hello,
Omid. We're not doing an intro for this one. It's just started. It's already started. This
Coming.
This is the important tricking talk going on right now. Politicians.
Coming.
Stop. Can you just stop leaving the universe? Stop doing what you're doing.
Oh my God.
It's putting me
so
on edge.
Funny.
It's stressing me out.
I don't like that old man Kojo's looking at me.
With disdain. That's going to be my look when I look out at kids on my lawn and they're like not pushing their hips forward in their gainer switch. That's going to be my face as an old man. I love people just opening this live stream and this is what they see. This is what they see. Amazing. Top quality. This is grade A premium tricking content. You don't get this anywhere else.
What happened? Can a shrimp drink a beer? That's the question.
Go on. Let's.
Oh no, it disappears.
All right, no beer for you then. Stop disappearing, man.
I got the beer.
Stop. Yes. Aiden, you know we're going to keep you all educated. This is where you come to learn. You come to the Omid and Kojo show for the knowledge bombs, you know, for the serious tricking content.
Oh.
We've prepared vigorously for this, as you can tell. Is me doing a Webster and turning my hat round. There we go.
With the slow-mo. Oh,
I love that we can share stuff on this. I feel like we're not going to talk anymore. We're just going to be playing with filters like the whole time.
I can't share things, I don't think.
Do you know
think it's
people
just you.
can... Yo, look at this. People can submit questions, and then I can like share the question. We should start doing this whole live stream thing properly. Stop messing it up.
Get rid of the question.
Hold on. Let me just get... There we go. What? Oh, it's over your face. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. So... Stop that. You dirty little thing.
It's, when I blink, it goes away.
But can Omid stay shrimp forever though?
Nah,
That's what I want to know.
I'm gonna be something else now. All right,
I
get
like
rid of
shrimp
that.
Omid. Hashtag bring back shrimp Omid.
Oh, why is it not working?
What? You need to go back to shrimp. Whoa. What have I got?
Yo, this is.
All right. This is what I'm gonna keep it on. That's the move. Oh, you look like a ponce. You should just be a shrimp. I like shrimp on me.
I'm gonna be a shrimp.
All right. Should we get into it? Should we do what we're supposed to do?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So silly. So I did want to talk to you about something, Omid.
Okay.
The future of tricking media. So that includes stuff like this. Like where do you think it's going to go, and how are we going to get it there? Like, we're obviously bringing the most premium quality content in tricking right now, as you can see. But how can we take it to the next level? You know, maybe if I wore a mask or something the whole time, or I don't know. Did it upside down?
Maybe if you got some kind of face transplant.
Oh yeah, me with a face transplant.
I don't know. I think
That's horrible.
Oh my god. Oh, there was a point during that you looked like a snail.
All right, this is the one. This is the one for me. I can anytime I want, I can just be like.
Okay, right. Let's get into the discussion, Kojo. We're like parents that have just discovered filters.
Pretty much. It's all right
Right,
though.
okay.
Niall's here. All right, Niall's here, so let's get on top of it.
Okay, yeah, all right.
The Usman's in the chat, so time to talk about some serious business. We've
Ilya's
also got
here as
Ilya
well.
in here. Hey, Ilya. Fuck's sake. Okay, all right. Omid,
What?
talk about something interesting. Stop being a shrimp. We're being too silly. Yeah, we should
Okay.
title this one "Old Men Discover Filter." Enough. Stop giggling.
Okay. What was the question? So you wanted to know?
I wanted to know what the next wave is in tricking media, because the vlogs really took off with Plan Zero, and well, now there's quite a few vlogs. I mean, not necessarily tricking, but you got like Flip Flight Z and Bailey and Alex Omidvar and Martin Drumev. There's a lot of movement vloggers. So do you think the same thing's going to happen with podcasting and like live streams and stuff?
I think so too. But I think the next, but I don't necessarily think that'll happen for quite a while, to be honest. Stop it.
Yeah, carry on. Come on, serious conversation. Keep it serious.
Right, okay. I just can't look at you then. I'm not going to look at you.
Okay.
All right. So I think I think podcasts will be not the next thing, but the thing after. I think like higher production, like big projects, like closer to what Red Bull House of Media do, in terms of like having a whole concept for something where trickers are getting involved, whether it's actually working with like a completely different company, for example, like Red Bull Media House or whatever, but like also that happening within the tricking community. Because like I think like, or even doing things like what Star have done with their like movies and stuff like that, and the Roof Culture Asia and things like that.
Yeah, carry on.
But podcasts, the reason I don't think podcasts is because I think it's a lot harder to kind of orchestrate. And I feel like, one, it's quite a difficult skill. And two, people, it won't necessarily get that much traction,
Well,
I guess.
One thing, it's a bit of a switch, but not that much of a switch, because it kind of ties into the Red Bull thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of potential for like kind of tricking samplers, but more concept samplers. So rather than, because you know, whenever anyone has like a budget for a sampler, it's always just filmed with a really good camera, and then it's like some it's like Skrillex playing, and they're in some dusty garage or something, and there's a hand combo in there, and there's all these stop transitions that you've seen a load of times, and yeah, it's filmed well and it's cut together like fast, but it doesn't really like add anything. And I think there's a lot of potential for people to do actual projects. Like, imagine if you had a load of fireworks in the back of different shots at the right time.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine just as part of a sampler, it will go with so many songs great, but it would be great if you like set up scenes. So you have someone like bouncing on a BMX or something, and you got fireworks going on. You got a woman doing a full split and twirling on her leg, and you're doing a combo in front of all of that. And there's a big mural in the back or some shit. I think like you could present tricking so it's like a picture, you know, it's like a whole, like put it in the middle of a work of art, like loads of artistic things going on. I feel like that would look crazy. Also,
no, I get what you're saying, but in terms of like, I don't know, it is really kind of hard to. So there's a comment here that says, "I wish samplers were stories." There was narration and a story, and I get that to a certain extent, but it is quite difficult to kind of make tricking into a story unless it's like either like a monumental thing, like the journey to a crazy trick, or it's like a whole kind of lifetime type deal, or like whole tricking history type deal.
It depends what kind of story you're trying to tell. Because like I've said, you know, with my, like the 10-year sampler I wanted to do before this COVID happened.
Yeah.
Doing kind of a story that the stories around like how you actually got the tricking clips. I feel like that would be really cool. Like, let's say you made a sampler, if you had like a big budget and it was like all of the wonders of the world, like you did amazing tricking combos by the wonders of the world. I feel like just the story behind all the obstacles you had to overcome to get those clips, you know, that would make for a really cool video. Like something like that.
I feel
some
you
kind of
that.
mission, or you want to get to like the craziest grass spot in like the clouds or something.
Yeah. No, I get that. And I think like I think there's definitely something to be done, like documenting the chase for the perfect shots. So like obviously once you do obtain all of the perfect shots that you were looking for this video that you really wanted to make, then you can make like a whole like hour-long documentary based on that. And it would, I think that would be incredible.
I think it would. I think it'd be really interesting. And I'll tell people about that idea, because why not? Yeah, so basically my plan for my 10-year sampler, which I've been wanting to do since 2013. I've been dreaming about this sampler. I know the song. I know the sort of locations I want to film in. And I wanted to go around the whole of the UK, try and find the coolest spots possible. And then each spot, I just get like one combo done. But I get it done perfectly. Even if I have to spend 3 days, 4 days, a week in one location trying to get this one clip, then I actually follow through with it and do it. And even if there's not that many clips in the whole sampler, it's like 10 to 15 clips, but they're all perfect. Like I'm really happy with all of them. They're all filmed great. They're great combos. They're performed great. And then in between, it's kind of showing the journey around and just shots of like the traveling and really cool nature shots. I want it to be all out in nature. I don't want anyone else to be in a shot at any point throughout the whole thing. I want it to just be like a man with nature. I feel like it would be really cool. And you could make a longer documentary about the whole, because it would take a long time to do. You could make a documentary about it.
Yeah, your mate Omid is going to document the whole process, and he's also going to make vlogs along the way, but keeping a lot out just because making the doc. Now that's something that I feel really, really passionate about, because obviously, like, I don't know, I feel like if it was anybody else, I'd kind of be like, I probably wouldn't be as invested, but because it's you, because we've come up together completely, like, I don't know, like I feel just as invested in like documenting that process as I do with making my own kind of samplers. You know what I mean? I just feel like it'd be amazing to be able to make like a really, really well put together project.
Yeah, well, no, I'd appreciate the help with it, and I know you do a great job, and it would be really fun us doing it together as well.
Yeah,
trying to get these amazing clips, because I tell them about one of the clips I wanted to get in it is in front of a castle, obviously, because #1 castle tricker in the game. Who else is flipping at this many castles? I mean, come on. So I want to have a castle in there, but I'd like to hit aerial scissor, raise, gainer switch, triple cork. I really want to get that one on grass. I just want to do it once. I don't want to have to be doing that all the time. But I'd love to have a shot where in the foreground, well, in the background, you can only see like a blur to start with, and it's just like gray. And then as I'm doing the combo, it reveals the castle. But I don't get any smaller. You do it by like zooming out and moving forwards as you're filming. So I stay the same size doing the combo, but this castle like emerges behind me. I think there's so much potential for things like that in tricking, and no one's really played with like filming to that extent, you know?
Whenever anybody does have like the filming, they don't have the tricks. And whenever they have the tricks, they don't have the filming. And it's like, when you put the two together, you can make an absolute masterpiece.
Or you have the two together, like I've seen it where they have the filming, they have the tricks, but then there's no passion or vision behind it. Well, I just say vision. Maybe there's passion.
Which one are you talking about?
I'm just thinking of most of the high production value, like it normally forms trickers end up doing that sort of thing, and it's just like some Skrillex song or some other
in front of some graffiti because we're urban.
In front of urban graffiti walls, and there's like close-ups of their face, and it's like, yeah, the tricks are good, yeah, the tricks are filmed good, but like, what are you trying to show here? It's just you're just in a dusty warehouse with a graffiti wall. It's like the same. They're all the same. Is my point.
Urban, bro. What do you mean?
It'd be cool to see more people really like trying for cooler clips. There's just potential. Like that one idea I said would be really cool, and there's probably infinite other ideas like that just haven't been explored.
Well, I don't know, like this, because to me, this isn't just going to be like something that kind of we just kind of talk about. We'll just get it done, and then afterwards, it'll just be something special. Dilk said, "Does making vlogs detract from saving for samplers?" In my opinion,
do both if you want.
In my opinion, it all depends on how much you're doing during the session. Like, if you're only getting like 5 decent clips in the session and only one of them is sampler worthy, but you're putting them in the vlog and you don't want to, like, I don't know, it depends, because like I've made samplers out of tricks that have been peppered in throughout my vlogs and stuff, but it's like, it's a completely different thing when you have all of your best tricks in one video. So I don't know, if you want to save the clips, just do both. Just make the vlogs and keep your best clips, and it won't take anything away from the vlogs, because like those best clips are just like special clips that should just be saved if you want to make that banger of a sampler. I don't know. I wish more people made samplers.
Well, you say that, but you wouldn't watch most of them. That's the thing. I wish. I don't. The trickers we're really into would make more samplers.
Yeah, that's basically what I mean. Yeah, it's not like I wish everyone had just been making samplers. There's just a few people that I really wish would make samplers that are like, even if it is just the clips to some music, like real just old school samplers, like a lot of Mike's old videos. I want it to, like, I don't know, like if it's the right tricks and the right music, it gives you so much more, and there doesn't even need to be that much in it. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh yeah, Brandon, I did see, and every time I started to try and watch it, it was just lagging out. But I haven't actually seen the sampler. I'll watch it immediately after this live, and I'm gonna send you a Snapchat review.
I saw it. It's good shit. He's a strong boy. Oh, and Leon, we are familiar with Perker's samplers. He stayed at our house for a while.
Yeah.
Perker. Yeah,
lovely lad.
They're really good. Yeah.
I wanted to talk about so a question that Mr. Adam Dilkwing asked right at the end of the last Omid Kojo show. What was it he said? Should triple full variation under rotated be should a triple full variation that's under rotated be scored higher in a battle than fully rotated triple full? And let's discuss. I'm gonna let you say first.
I think this is one of those that really depends, because when you think about it, it's like not Shosei, because Shosei would get round on it, but if someone of his caliber, if they did like a triple full variation but landed like a quarter of a twist or between a quarter and half a twist off, but then someone else did a triple full, but that triple full was like fully rotated, but it's an ugly triple full, I think that makes all the difference. If it was like an Alexander super straight twisting triple full, then that would be almost any under rotated trip variation, in my opinion. But it's like if it was a really ugly triple full where it's all crunched up and forced, then I'd maybe go for the under rotated dub variation or trip variation if it was done well. So that's a really hard one.
I think there's a lot that needs to be taken into consideration, honestly. Obviously, aesthetic, pretty high on the list, because obviously if it just looks like a cool move and then the triple full is if the double full variation looks like a cool move and then the triple full is super scat, then it's probably got to go to the double full variation. And if it's like, but if it's stomped, if the triple full stomped and it just kind of was very easy, even if they might not necessarily have the best aesthetic, there is going to come a point where it ends up being passable as the one that's higher, just because it was done so easily. But also, I think the intent makes a huge difference. And what I mean by this is, like, if somebody was, I don't know, like, well, the intent and also the setup. I want to mention the setup first, because if it was like a scoot triple full, then obviously it's got to be scored higher than a cart triple full. And if it was like a combo into a front swing envigado punch triple full, then that will be scored higher than in my opinion, the exact same combo, but to an under rotated double full snapu, as an example. And what I mean by intent is, like, what was the intent behind the triple full? And this kind of goes just for a bunch of different tricks.
Triple full?
Well, the triple full intent, this is what it gets into, like a broader kind of discussion. You keep
explaining what you said. Like, what I mean by intent is the intent. Like, use some other words to explain it.
I'm stumbling over my words. Don't point it out.
I thought you needed a hand. I thought you were just thinking.
I know what's happening. I'm just struggling. So like, what I mean by
I'm just going. Hold on. All right, there we go. Continue.
Are you gonna let me explain what I mean by intent? But this kind of opens up a discussion into like a broader topic of conversation about intent in battles, because if you can see that somebody ends up landing a combo, but they didn't intentionally set out to do that combo, I think that should be taken into consideration with the scoring. So if you can see that somebody was going to go for a different trick, but then they changed that trick at the last second, and you can see that, I think that should be scored differently, which is like a broader topic and like not just specific to triple full and triple full variations. But I think having a clear idea when you're watching somebody trick as to whether they meant to do that trick. Like, in a combo,
you
when
can
someone
tell,
kind of falls and they
get
do a
what
front
you mean.
sweep.
You can save combos. Some people do save combos really well, but yeah, definitely mark down if you can tell they changed from what they were originally planning to do. You can tell they somewhat fell a bit. Like if someone else did the exact same combo, or even like a lower level version of the combo, but you can tell the whole way through that they meant it, like that's what they were going for, they hit what they were going for, then I'd probably give it to them over the guy who kind of fell into that combo a bit. It just looks better because you got to look at the whole piece. Like, anything where in the middle you've kind of messed it up a bit, it can still be cool, but it's not as cool as if you just do what you set out to do,
Well, it depends on it depends entirely on how well they recover, in my opinion, because there are instances where somebody can recover and actually make it look natural, even if you kind of know that's not what they were going for, but they recover.
They pull it off.
Yeah, if you pull it off, I think you should kind of get the points for it, in my opinion.
Yeah. And someone asked if we judged battles before, and yeah, we've judged a lot of battles. I can't remember how many battles I've judged, but it's a lot.
I've judged far too many.
We judged the Swedish tricking championships.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. That's
Sick.
why we were there for that gathering.
Oh
Tragic
yeah, I forgot about that. Dude, I've been to so many gatherings at this point. I lose track of what's gone on.
Yeah, we've been to a lot in Sweden. In our first couple years, we used to go to Sweden all the time.
Well, it was great because even if we were paying for the flights and stuff, like it was mad cheap.
Yeah, it was like £40
Yeah,
for a
for a
flight.
return. It's crazy. And people
Yeah.
are going out and spending more than that on a night out drinking a lot of the time. It's crazy to me. But then you'll see on their Instagram, like, oh, I wish I was traveling more. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
it's
What
so
are you paying
cheap
at?
to travel.
Yeah, well, to some places.
To some places, yeah. I agree. I love shrimp, Omid. Sorry, but I love that this is going on, that you're a shrimp man now.
I'm a shrimp this whole episode.
Anytime I want. I do that in real life, you know. Sometimes I'm just like, when I'm really shocked.
So Kojo, turns out I'm gonna go tomorrow.
You're gonna go to Sheffield tomorrow?
Yeah.
How come you go? Can he not rearrange?
Well, no, it's the weather. So the weather's a little bit more questionable next week. But what he's basically said is we can also do. He can also help me shoot the new products as well when I get them.
Omid's doing a photo shoot in Sheffield with a man called Andrew.
Yeah, you know, anybody who's seen any of these photos of me being a shrimp, and I'm gonna look like this the whole time.
I love it. What the thumbnail for this is going to be amazing. Oh, I love that we got a hi from Chile. There's always a hi. From
Hello, Chile.
Hi to Chile. I want to go.
Chile.
I want to go there at some
Dude,
point.
I'm Stromid.
Stromid. I love it.
Yeah, but that photo shoot. If anybody's seen the incredible photos of me, not because of me, because of the photographer.
If anyone's seen Omid's incredible abs?
Nah, not the abs. The fucking lighting, bro.
Yeah.
Orgasmic lighting.
He made it look like you have muscles.
I mean, but the abs are also fantastic.
don't do that. Do not do that.
Fantastic. Oh god.
What is this? How old were you guys when you landed Triple Cork? How old were you, Omid?
I don't even know, you know. I feel like 20?
20. I was 20. I
Maybe
think
I
you
was
might have been 19.
19, yeah. I think I might have been 19.
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon just gave me an idea for a whole new spin-off of Lady and the Tramp, but with Omid. It's Lady and the Shrimp.
Omid in the shrimp. You play both characters. Oh, old men discover filters. You're a bit late to that one. So someone said that like half an hour ago.
Yeah, that's what this video is going to be called.
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon Shreen was 19. You see, 19's the year. 19's the year you really become a man. Because when you're 18,
Yeah.
you're still a child, but you're just kind of like pissing about, being able to drink and stuff. In the UK, anyway. And then when you're 19, shit gets real.
Yeah, it gets serious.
Shit gets real.
Stop. Yo, what do you think Shosei? What do you think Shosei will be doing at 19? Stop. Focus on the conversation about Flip.
You don't
Stop
focus
being a
on the
shrimp.
conversation.
I'm
Keep
always
making your
focused.
face leave.
I'm on the ball, mate. I've been up since 5 and I'm still on the ball. I'm going. Oh, I lost. I lost it. I lost it.
I prefer it when it doesn't happen.
When I'm just like, what's this one?
What did you say? What do I think Shosei is going to be doing when he's 19?
Yeah.
I don't
What's this
know.
one do?
He's gonna be doing.
Continue. President of Japan.
Oh God! Oh no! Back. No! All
I
right.
don't like that one.
What's he gonna do? He's gonna be doing like. Oh, I wonder when Shosei will do rap quad.
I think he'll do that piece of piss when he tries it.
Yeah.
Like, I think he'll knock that out. Like, any day when he decides to try Rap Quad, I think he'll do Rap Quad.
There's too many things for him to try.
There is. I'm just thinking of his overall style when he's like 19. It's going to be so crazy what his combos look like. He'll be doing combos and ending in like, he'll do like triple cork, swing gainer, punch full in, like at the end of a combo.
Yeah.
Like, he'll actually be doing stuff like that, I think.
Yeah. Probably. Well, how old is he now? Is he 15?
Yeah.
4 years. I don't know, man. Because his progression trajectory
What?
doesn't make any sense. Like,
yeah, but that's the same what I just said.
No, I know, but like, I feel like it might. There's a chance it could be way higher than that.
That's true. He might be doing like double full in at the end of combos, and that's just
like I can imagine him doing mental shit like that. Or if he's just easily doing like side swipe wrap full in at the end of combos and stuff like that. Like I can see it happening.
Imagine that.
Just like I don't know, man. Like the combos that he's capable of currently are ridiculous.
Yeah, and I agree with Brandon that
he'll get bored of power.
Like he'll still push power for a while. I don't know. I think we've probably still got another like 5 years of Shosei like really leading the power game. Because it's not normally till people are a bit older.
Yeah, yeah. I would, because like if he's 15 now, it wouldn't surprise me if it took him like 7+ years to get to the point where he was like, all right, I'm fed up with this now. Because don't forget, a lot of the time when people stop pushing the power curve, it's because their body can't necessarily take it anymore.
Yeah. Well, it kind of changed. Yeah, no, people don't normally they're not like slaying power tricks every day and then suddenly they're like, oh, I'm just going to work on other stuff. It's normally because they have some kind of big injury and then they have to like figure out, they have to start getting into other stuff. Yeah. They don't have a choice. It's like, Brandon said about Alex Hunter. Like, he stopped doing as many power moves because of an injury as well.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think it will be. I don't know. I really hope he doesn't. Because the thing is, don't forget, he is going to be incredibly well conditioned by that point as well. Because Taichi is going to be making sure that he's being put through his paces and he's really looking after himself. And because he's been doing it from such a young age, and he has so much control currently, like, hopefully he can just kind of move forward and just keep pushing, and then more and more people will come along over the next 5 years. Oh, that's an interesting topic. Like, how many people and how long will it take for us to have like 10 Shosei level type trickers?
I think Shosei level is going to take a long time for there to be like a lot of people like that.
Mm-hmm. I agree, but don't you think it's kind of weird how it was pretty much, so it was like kind of like Velu pushing a lot of things, and he was like the guy at the time, and then it went on to Mike, and then it was Mike for the longest time, and like maybe like how long, like 7 years, 8 years?
7, 8 years, yeah.
And then
he was really, really on top for that time.
Yeah, and it was like there was no one else that was even close. And then Ilya came along, and then Mike had a little bit of competition, and then Shosei, and now it's just like kind of
Zen as well. Now.
Obviously, Zen is incredible, but like, yeah, I guess there's just never very many people at one time.
It's because it's really hard.
No, I know, obviously, but like, I don't know. I just feel like I wonder when it will get to a point where there's just like 10 people that are Shosei kind of level, and they're all just pushing different things. Because I think that will be incredible. Because if they've got people that are really, really pushing them, and everyone's going in slightly different directions and doing the things that they really enjoy, then it'll be fascinating to see.
Yeah, like, but what if? No, not what if. Who was better? How many people are as good as 2010 Mike Guthrie? Like, when you think about
like
that, it makes you realize it takes a while.
A handful,
Yeah, it's not that many people. Like, in some areas, then there's a lot of people who are like way better. But across the board, then 2010 Mike's still above most people in the world. He could do triple cork, swing cork, and you know.
Yeah.
So he wasn't on like Johan and Shosei and Zen power levels or Ethan, but he was above most of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Even then.
That is kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah, like Brandon said.
Yeah, I was just reading that.
The first J-step trip in jeans in 2010 at 15 years old. That's what happens when you start as a tiny little kid, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, your body's just like...
If you have your own gym as well, like
you start breaking your body in tricking machine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I always wonder what it'd be like starting as a young kid. Must be a whole different tricking experience.
Yeah. Do you think it would make you end up, because think the amount of time that you actually get to do it, do you feel like there's a higher chance of you ended up kind of losing interest just because like after, like if you start when you're like 9 years old, if you like now we would have been tricking for like how old am I now?
I don't know. It depends who you are, I think.
Yeah,
like some people, yeah. It depends how you get into it as well, like who's more pushed into it or who just really wants to do it. Yeah. And I know because I loved like just trying front flips on my trampoline and stuff when I was 12. I know that if I had started tricking as like a kid, I think I would have still loved it because I kind of loved flips then. I just didn't do them, and I didn't have a sport. I just thought backflips were really cool.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I always found flips interesting, always, from a really young age.
I think we would, if we'd started as kids, I think we'd still do it. But at the same time, in lots of ways, I'm glad that I did it. I started as an adult. I don't think I'd be anywhere near as good of a coach because I think like when you've learned as a kid, it's just so much easier for you to learn because obviously it doesn't hurt falling. You don't get injured as much. Your body's way more flexible. And if you're a kid who has someone teaching them as well, it's just so much easier to learn. And because I had such a tough time learning stuff by myself with like an older person's body, well, started when I started doing flips on the floor when I was like 16, tricking around like 17.
Yeah.
So I think that taught me a lot more. And now I'm better at teaching people because I can relate to their struggle. Whereas some of the really good trickers aren't very good at teaching tricking because they can't really relate to the people they're teaching because it came much easier to them.
Yeah. No, I feel
where's Shrimp? Shrimp Omid gone?
Oh, Jesus. What's happened? Sorry.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry about that, guys.
I got worried for a second there.
Yeah, no, I feel I get you with that. But would it not make you, I don't know, think about if you started when you were 5 years old, you would have had an extra, how much, 12 years? You started when you were 17, right?
Well, hold on. Because Brandon's made a bold claim there. It's better to start as a grown man because you don't stress your body and get muscle imbalances before you're fully developed and grow into them on accident. And it's like, get the theory, but every single one of the best trickers in the world started when they were a little kid.
And also, like, if you're training
correctly... And they
get
injured the least as well.
Yeah, and if you're training correctly and you have the guidance and the physical...
And gymnasts always start when they're little kids as well. In every acrobatic sport, the people at the top start when they're little kids. So, I mean, I don't know, but if that were the case, then wouldn't there be more people who started as adults who are really, really good?
Yeah, it just gives you way more time to hone your skills and understanding of what it is that you're doing as well. Even that alone is enough to be immersed in a sport for that long. It's going to give you way more of an edge than anybody else just because you put more hours in.
But I'm sure it can mess you up, I'm sure. Because the thing is, this is the thing with you, we kind of only ever see the tip of the iceberg. For every Michael Guthrie or Jacob Pinto or Alexander Anderson, I wonder how many other kids there were who were pushing really hard as children and then just messed up their body and they've got all this pain and they had to quit. And we never heard about them. I wonder, because that might be the majority. It probably is the majority. So yeah.
If you start as an adult, I don't know that. No, I don't, Brandon, I don't necessarily agree with that, because if you, it all depends on the environment that you have, because if you have the right guidance and you have the right training and you're conditioning correctly and you're not doing too much and you're not, and you are also lucky, like if you're lucky enough and you don't get any major injuries, because there are some times where sometimes you like, I hurt myself a little bit and had to take like a week off, and I did a trick that I've been doing for like 7 years, and just did a box cutter, and it just strained my adductor. So these kind of things can happen, and sometimes they can be more severe. But I think if you do have all of the right guidance and you have people like looking after you and helping you through these things, because when you're a kid, you also don't know shit about shit. You need to have that guidance. What?
You need to read the comments when you're responding to them, because people watching on YouTube aren't going to know what you're talking about.
Oh, apologies. Sorry about that. Basically, it was still just kind of addressing what Brandon said about starting as an adult.
Just read the comments.
Basically, Brandon said, I think it may be a little better physically on your body if you start as an adult, but you'll probably be so far past the career potential.
Yeah, so, I mean, who knows, eh? But yeah, interesting. I'm sure that this is the sort of thing that, like, 20 years from now, then we'll just have so much, like, data on it, and we'll, like, really know all of this shit.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, this is just kind of
it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
Tricking hasn't been around long enough for us to really know about a lot of things.
Yeah, this is just musings from Shrimp Omid.
It's interesting to think about it, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alex Hunter said, seen so many here that have fallen off that were dope as kids. And yeah, and I wonder how many of those are, because I know a lot of kids like get into it and they pick it up really fast and they just get bored with it. And how many of those are kids who got into it and then got hurt? I think it's more common that they get bored of it, but I'm sure there are plenty out there who got hurt as well.
Yeah. I don't know. It's always tragic hearing about people that have got hurt to the point where it just makes them stop. I hate that. It makes me really sad.
Well, this is why I think it's important to talk about, and I like that we talk about it quite a lot. Because at first I felt bad about talking about injuries all the time and being a miserable, old, dirty man. But it's important that people talk about it, because it seems like everyone's just tricking and having a great time and no one's getting injured that much. Because all of the people who get injured, you're not seeing their clips. You're not seeing those people because they're not tricking. And there's a lot of people out there who are getting hurt. So, yeah, you got to be careful with it.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it's good to be able to like actually shake people up a little bit sometimes, because you gotta make them see what the reality is. Like I thought I was invincible for a bit.
I remember. You used to land cross-legged.
I mean, I didn't think I was invincible. That's not genuinely what I thought. It was just like I wasn't getting hurt, so it kind of felt like it doesn't necessarily matter how I'm landing, because I'm trying so hard to land that if I'm not getting hurt, then I'll just keep trying it. Whereas that's not the right approach to have.
I thought I was invincible, not like completely, but kind of, like, because as a 16-year-old on a spring floor, I was like, this is so soft and bouncy. I did kind of feel like I couldn't get hurt. And when I saw older people at the gym who'd like hurt themselves in some way, then I always just thought like, well, it's going to be better tomorrow, isn't it? Like, that's what I assumed, because whenever I like tweaked something, I was just fine the next day. Because that's
I was kind of the same. I remember going to a session one time. This always kind of sticks in my memory, and I remember having to take an ankle support for the first time to a gym session, and I was just having the session, and then as I warmed up, I just took the ankle support off, and I was completely fine. And this was like literally the next day, and I tricked for like 4 hours the day before. It was ridiculous.
Well, see, that's one of the main reasons why I wished I tricked when I was a kid. Just because of like the amount of tricks you can do, and your body's so like supple and young, because I just remember being 12, 13, and I just jumped down my stairs. I jumped down like 6 stairs barefoot onto the tiled floor. I remember just doing that every day. I was just had too much energy and I was just jumping down the stairs, and it didn't hurt my feet at all. Now, sometimes when I step off the bottom step, then I feel it in my ankle. And I just think, what would tricking have been like at that point where I could just fling myself off really high things and it didn't hurt at all? What would tricking... That's what the Japanese kids have.
I mean,
but
we
like,
had that.
I wonder what that would have been like.
We did have that a bit, though. We're like,
A bit.
It's just not quite the same. But I want to respond. Well, I want to kind of discuss something that Alex Hunter said. He said one trick. Wait, where's the comment?
I pinned it.
What you say?
I pinned the comment.
Oh yeah. Okay. So one kid in Ohio got double cork in 2 months of tricking, and didn't appreciate it because it came too easy, and stopped soon after. Kojo and I have an exact a story that's exactly the same as that. Not 2 months, but it was like a really, really short amount of time. Little dude named Aiden. I mean, he's a grown ass man now, but at the time he was a little dude. And because of his physical potential, and because you see, this is strange as well, because it did seem like he really wanted it, the way that he would talk about tricks and the amount that he would train to a certain extent. And then all of a sudden he just got to a certain level and he just dropped off almost immediately.
He could do like cork swing, double cork.
Yeah.
Scoot dubs and can't dub swing through. And he was young as well. Wasn't he like 14 or something?
Yeah. And it was really exciting for us because he was the first person, I want to say in the UK, that we knew of that was really like making those kind of gains. And then all of a sudden, nothing. He just, I don't know whether it's because he just he was interested in other things, or I don't know, but that kind of mentality is kind of strange to me. And I guess it's because like there's always something way more difficult to do, and that's one of the things that I love most about tricking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's just how big your ambition is as well. Because if you're ambitious enough to want to be like insanely good, then you know it's kind of a lifetime pursuit. If you just want a double cork, then you can kind of achieve that and then you're done. So if that was like, I'll bring out the RuneScape analogy. Now, RuneScape, you could get 99s in every skill, and that would take you a long, long time, like a lot of time. I just wanted 99 range. I always wanted 99 range in RuneScape. I played it a lot. I used to get up before school at like 4 or 5 a.m. sometimes so I could get like extra RuneScape in. Stop shrimping around on it. I'm telling an important story, all right? Important story.
Talking about
critical to everyone listening, okay? This is serious, Omid. Come on. So, on RuneScape, I was working for this 99 so hard, and then I got the 99, and I was like, it took me like a couple of years of playing because I was doing other stuff on the game too. And then within a month, I just stopped playing the game completely. It was something that I did like every day, and I just got kind of bored with it because I had my skill cape, had my 99 range, I could do the emote. So like, what else is there for me? And I realized that's an important lesson in life. Sometimes you can set a goal, and then when you achieve it, you're like, oh, what do I do now? That's why it's important in tricking to have your goal to be like, to reach your full potential. If you make your goal a specific trick, then you're kind of like, if you get it, you might lose interest a bit. If that's like the only reason you're tricking, you like really want to do that double cork or something like that.
Okay, but can I chime in now? Or do you want me to go again?
Go on, Shrimp Omid. Brandon said he never got skill cape.
Sounds like a pussy bitch to me.
I feel for you.
So, saying to a certain extent, but sorry, there's a really funny comment.
Go on, read it.
Someone said everyone in the United States talking politics right now, and I'm sitting here like, what? And Omid's sitting here. Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense.
It didn't make sense. We'll say that he said, I'm sitting here listening to Shrimp Omid. That would have made sense.
There it is, yeah. But anyway, so my point was, I didn't even necessarily have goal. I mean, I guess, yeah, from my personal experience, like a lot of my goals were kind of like, this is the goal. Once I've got that, then, and then there is no then. It's just kind of like, I need to get double cork. And then the second I got it, my brain, like literally within the second, my brain would go to the next goal. So I don't know if that is necessarily the case, but I do agree with what you're saying.
Well, you're saying it depends on the person, obviously, like, and how into it they are. But I also think because that was such a long-term goal, that was a goal over the course of like years.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a different experience to these more short-term goals. So I don't know. I don't think I'd get bored of tricking if no matter what I landed. But I think for other people who aren't like as into it, then that must be more of a thing. Even if they're quite, and that's a good example about being like quite into it. Because I played RuneScape like every day. Like I was pretty into it. And then I just like lost interest.
Well, no, I feel you. And I think obviously coming back to the points that we've mentioned in other episodes, like I think it is the perfect kind of testing grounds for everything in life, because I think in order to be really successful at something, you need to want it. And if you don't want it in the way that you need to kind of want it in order to truly succeed, then you're never actually going to get there, because you're going to lose interest and not end up doing what you want to do. And I think having those more long-term goals is really important. It's something that I've realized through tricking, because if I was always just planning my sessions based on my goals for that week, then there would have been a point where I probably would have just quit, because there's been weeks, months even, where I'm just like, I can't fucking do anything. So I think being able to look at the bigger picture in terms of my tricking kind of achievements is really important for, I don't know, everything that kind of crosses over into your real life.
That's true. That's true. Also, well, it teaches you as well that it's not about the goals. It's not about achieving your tricking goals. It's about like the journey of getting there. And I feel like some people mistake that. They think because it's not about the actual goals themselves, then they end up like not really, you know, people who train for years and years and don't get any better.
Yeah.
They end up not having any real goals because they think, well, it's about the tricks anyway and just having fun.
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah, it is just about the tricks and having fun. But if you have a goal you're chasing, then it's a lot more fun. Yeah. It's not actually about the goal, but the goal's like a tool to make it more fun. It's like if you played a game and like in any game, how you go up levels and you get experience. It's like if you were playing tricking and there was just no experience. You're like playing a game and you don't get experience. You don't go up levels. You just play the game. It wouldn't be as fun as having that like progression. You know,
it does depend on the person again, because obviously everybody's brain works a little bit differently. And yeah, so this is basically what it is. It's like about the journey, not the destination. But sometimes the journey is the worst part. Like, let's keep it real. Like when you're trying to. And I think that's something that kind of needs to be discussed more in general. Like sometimes the journey just sucks. Like you've got to do things that you don't want to do in order to get to where you actually want to be. And that's the case with everything. I love tricking more than pretty much anything. But there's still parts of it that I'm just like, I don't want to do this, but I do it anyway because that destination, which will then take you on another journey, which you may enjoy a lot more. Sometimes you got to take those kind of more dull and not as exciting kind of periods with indoor training. And again, same in life. But if you can make everything great, then sick.
Yeah. Well, I think you learn a lot from that. Like the actual struggle part is probably the most valuable in terms of like life experience.
Yeah.
Like me finding things that have been hardest in tricking taught me the most. Like having to recover from big injuries and being humbled like that made me really appreciate my body and it working, and how you have a limited amount of time in your life to do stuff. And also tricking showed me that I like could run a business without ever running, like I had no experience running a business, but tricking showed me that even if you don't know anything at all about something, if you put in enough work every single day, eventually you'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
Like when I started Kojo's Trick Lab, I hadn't edited a video before. And then I just made a video streaming platform and I didn't have a camera.
Yeah, but the thing is though, it's like because of the things that you've learned within tricking, although it's not exactly safe because you can hurt yourself, it's a hell of a lot safer than a lot of other things. And it means that like you get to you get to really practice, I don't know, putting in the work and trying to achieve those goals regardless of what it takes to get there.
Yeah. I think just understanding how that process works.
And sometimes just actually having to put 10 years into something to get to something that you don't think is that great. If that's what you got to do, you got to do it. Because if the end result is incredible, then you got to get it done. If it's something that you really want as well. Because this is why I think this is why it's so important to be doing things that someone said, imagine if someone was watching this on LSD. Oh, that would be tragic.
That would be a time.
Yeah, that would be. I can't even imagine what that would be like. But what was I saying?
Oh, it doesn't do anything.
I'm staying true to the shrimp. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm just gonna be like this for the rest of it.
I put your head further up, so it's by your mouth.
Wait, what? Oh, long.
Look at that tooth. Oh god,
That's horrible, isn't it?
I hate it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry you had to see this. I apologize. All right, JR Tricks said, "You don't want to be better than everyone else. It's not something you want to think. You could be better than some people, but I'd rather do tricking to fix my style and power." Yes, bro. Keep it up.
Well, you know what I think is way more important than everything we've discussed in this entire life. Aidan Allen said, "Omid, can we make you a religion? Bow down to Omid." And the answer is 100%.
The cult of Omid.
I've always wanted a cult. That'd be great.
It would be sweet. No, like whenever I watch a docuseries about a cult, I'm like, damn, imagine having a cult.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
until everyone dies.
I mean, minus the death and destruction. I mean, we could make the first cool cult.
They're cool. I think they're cool at first. I think they're normally. That's why people join. They're a good time at first, you know.
Everybody, Brandon Shreen said, and Stromid service on Sunday, 9 a.m. He'll bring the Kool-Aid, and I'll bring Stromid.
JR Trick says he wanted a cult. The fuck? Who doesn't want a
cult?
Who
doesn't want a cult?
Come on, you get mad money. There's babes massaging you. It's pretty sweet, you know?
It's your cult. You can get whatever you want.
You want to be the cult leader, though. It doesn't seem like
just
as
being
good
a
a
part
time.
of the cult is kind of.
If you're just a part of the cult, then I think, your bum, your bum has a bad time. It's not. That's just a recurring theme in all the cult docuseries on Netflix. It butt stuff, you know. Oh, put your tail away on me.